Hi everyone, welcome back to Stamp with Anna, and today I'm going to show you a version of this card in keeping with my new process of sending thank you cards to my customers. I'm sending a card like this to a customer who bought the Butterfly Brilliance collection, and that is a new collection that Stampin' Up! Previewed a few months ago, and it's going to go into the brand new catalog, which will be released in a couple of weeks. Now, the background story of this is I received a card from a customer of mine, Joanne. Hi, Joanne. She made me this card, and I love it. And I needed to make a birthday card for a coworker who loves butterflies and who loves sparkle. So when I got this in the mail from Joanne, it was perfect timing. I copied this card and I made it with, I made it a little smaller, and I made it with glimmer paper, and I gave it to her. And when I made it, I made a video making this card, but operator error, I forgot to hit the record button and I did not have the video. So I've been waiting to remake this card, but never got around to it. So then when my new other customer ordered the Butterfly Brilliance collection, I thought, oh, this is the time that I'm going to remake that card, and I'm going to remake it for her thank you card. Now, I don't have the Butterfly Brilliance collection, and what I've been doing when my customers order something that I don't have, I'm using something that's comparable, a product that's comparable. So this here uses the Butterfly Beauty Thinlits, which coordinate with the Beauty Abounds stamp set. These were originally released as a bundle, but they're not a bundle anymore. They're available separately. However, they are retiring on May 3rd, 2nd or 3rd, the day before the new catalog is released. So these will no longer be available. From the Beauty Abounds stamp set, I'm going to use this Thanks. And the Big Shot, the dies are called Butterfly Beauties, and there's a ton of butterflies in here. I made these by layering these large butterfly dies, and one is a background and one is the detailed ones. So the die set comes with these, and then it comes with a little bit of foliage, some flourishes, and it has dies that will cut out this butterfly that is side view and these little butterflies here, and you can cut more of them out at once. See here, the sideways butterfly, there are 3 sideways butterflies that you can cut out on their own, or if you want to stamp this one here, there is the background, the solid one, the framelit more, I should say. And if you want to make tiny, tiny little butterflies, there are these 2 tiny ones here, another 2 in this one, and 2 more here. So you get 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10 itty-bitty butterflies, and then you have 1, 2, 3 medium-sized butterflies. So there is, when they say beauty abounds and butterflies abounds with this set, this is a great set. If you like butterflies, this is for you. But we're just going to use these 2 today to kind of recreate Joanne's beautiful card to me. Like I said, these are still available now. They're only available while supplies last, until the new catalog comes out. So if you are interested in all these butterflies, you do need to act rather quickly. So I'm going to put some of my card together. And I have my base, which is Rich Razzleberry. It is 4 1/4 by 11, and it is scored at 5.5. And so I have a matte piece that is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and that's going to go right here. But before I attach it, I'm going to stamp my thanks on that. And I'm going to punch my stamp out with this double oval punch. But because I have to make sure that I stamp in the right place, I'm going to drop this in here. And I'm going to very lightly make a circle, well, an outline of that punch. And now I know exactly where to stamp my thanks. And I'm going to come in right in the middle of that and drop it down, straight up. And there it is. And now I'm going to take my punch, line that up right around there. And if you can see a little bit of pencil, that's not a problem. I'm going to erase that. I'm going to punch that out. So now I'm going to, with my eraser on my pencil, I'm just going to erase that very light pencil mark. And I'm going to put that aside because I'll come back to that in a minute. Okay. So now I'm going to attach this piece here onto my card base. And like I said, no one's going to see my little punch out there because I'm going to put another layer on top of that. Okay, I'll just close my... Bring this in, nice small border, okay. And now I'm going to attach my card front, and I'm using this pretty florally paper, and it is from the Flowers for Every Occasion Designer Series pack of paper, and it is also retiring at the end of this catalog. And I had so many packages of it. We used it a lot in classes, and you can see they're beautiful double-sided papers. The daisies in this are just phenomenal, and you have some winter designs as well. So that's retiring as well. So keep that in mind if you're interested in that. So now I'm going to take this piece here, and I'm going to attach it to my card front, my card. And this is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And again, it's a narrow little margin there, little border. And now I'm going to put this aside. Okay, now I have to do my die cutting. And my butterfly here has 3 layers. Joanne's here, these have 3 layers, but these only have 2. I'm going to show you how to make the 3 layers pretty easily. Outside layer is Flirty Flamingo. And when I die cut my Flirty Flamingo, I'm going to use this die because it is the outside die, okay? And it's going to fit perfectly like that. So I'm going to bring in my Big Shot, and I have my precision plate on it. Okay, because this is a detailed die, and I want to make sure that everything comes out nice and smoothly. So I'm going to run it through my precision plate. And because this is plain cardstock, it is going to be a little easier to remove than when I did the one with the glitter paper. That was quite difficult. Now when I turn it over, before I start taking it apart, I just want to give it a once over and make sure that I did get it cut all the way through. If I didn't, I would run it by again, run it through again. So now I'm going to take my foam mat here, and I'm going to bring in my Pick-It tool. I'm going to put my butterfly in there, and I'm going to just use this to run it over and just give it a little bit of help coming off the die. And you can see it does come apart nicely, even though it is so detailed. You might have to do a little bit of picking at it, but not a whole lot. Okay, I've done my little bit of picking that I needed to do to get all of my bits and pieces out of my Flirty Flamingo one. And there is the top layer of my butterfly. I'm going to put that aside. Now I'm going to bring in a piece of Daffodil Delight. And I'm going to bring in the interior side that has more of the dies, has more of the intricate cuts. So I'm going to put that on my, I'm going to put that on my Big Shot, and I'm going to run that through. And again, before I take it off, I want to just double check that I have got nice crisp cut there. And I think I do, but you know what? I'm going to run it through upside down this time, just to get a better cut. And again, I'm going to put that on my foam mat here, and I'm going to run that little brush over it, and you'll see just how great and quickly these all punch out. Okay, and there is my second layer of my butterfly. And again, it just has a couple pieces that need to be either punched out or brushed out. And see how quick that is. The precision plate really does help. Now that Stampin' Up! Has the new emboss machine, I don't believe they have a precision plate, but I hear that that it's real great on intricate dies. I don't have one yet, so I can't speak firsthand of that. So here's my middle layer of my butterfly, and this one is going to go over it, and isn't that beautiful? Now I do want to get the insides of this butterfly filled in. So what I'm going to do before I cut it out in Rich Raspberry, I'm going to make myself a template, and I'm going to show you why. Okay, so I have a piece of basic white, and again, I'm going to put that on my bigger piece, I think, on my Big Shot, and I'm going to run that through. I'm going to fit that in here with a plate. Nope, let's see that that's not quite centered. Okay. And again, since it worked so well the other time, I'm going to give it a 180 turn and go through again. And it is beautifully cut, as you can see. I'll bring in my foam, and I'm going to just brush these out of the die. Now, I'm on camera, and I don't want to have you sit here and watch me do this, but if you were doing this at home, you obviously would take your time and, you know, probably run it through a few more times so you wouldn't have to do any picking. Okay, so this is my template, and you'll see in just a second why you need a template. You don't need it, but it made life a whole lot easier for me. Okay, so I'm going to put that aside. Now I have one more butterfly to cut, and again I'm using the same butterfly, but this time I'm going to do it on my Rich Raspberry. Okay, so I'm going to run that through. And I'm going to give it a turn. Now the only thing I'm going to do differently this time is I am going to leave it intact like this, okay? I don't want to pop it out just yet, and I will show you why. So here is the card, and I have my template. This is my template. Now, as you can see, the butterflies stick out. So what I'm going to do is with my snips, I'm going to disconnect this butterfly here. I'm just going to try to go with the pattern there. And I'm going to disconnect this one here. Okay? I'm certainly not going to throw those away. I'm going to save those for another project. So there's my template. Okay? So now what I'm going to do here is I want to fill in all of these little pieces with these purple pieces. So this is not Stampin' Up, this is Tombow, and I'm going to just lightly add a couple pieces onto my butterfly. I know you're probably very confused as to what I'm doing, right? So there we go. I'm going to place that right there. Now, like I said, I want to get these rich raspberry pieces onto here. But I don't want to take this apart because then I'm not going to know what goes where. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my absolute favorite adhesive. You know this. It is the glue pen. And I'm going to start with this large butterfly here. I'm going to add some adhesive into these large slots. And now I'm going to pop these out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and there they are. Almost exactly where I need them to be. Okay, and now I'm going to just drop them into my butterfly. Okay, so let's see. This one goes there. And this one goes in the center. Oh, keep this straight. This one right there. This one right there. This one right there. Now I'm going to continue to do this with the other butterflies. I'm not going to do it here so that you have to sit and watch because that would take a long time. But I'm going to go off camera and I'm going to put these together, and then I'll come back when my pieces are all together and I'll show you where we go from there. Okay, I've finished adding in my rich raspberry to my butterfly. Now, as you can see, I did not do every single piece, and for a couple of reasons. That's an awful lot, and I didn't have the patience for it. And I think it's nice to have just a little bit. Less is more sometimes, they say, right? So now I'm going to carefully remove my template and trying to, as I lift it, trying to keep all of my pieces in their spot. Okay. And again, this takes a little bit of time and a little bit of patience. Okay, so it looks like a mess. I know it does, right? And a couple pieces I'm going to keep over there. Now, what you should keep in mind when you're doing that is you're going to get glue everywhere. So some of them are going to fall off. But that's okay, because when you come back in with your next layer, you are going to be able to fix the ones that have fallen off, okay? So I'm going to line my butterfly up. Oh, I have to cut these off too. Remember, I cut these off because they didn't quite fit on my card. So I'm going to cut these off. Okay, and now I'm going to put some adhesive on the back of this. And the most important part of the butterfly to put adhesive on, obviously, is the outer wings and the inside, the little antennae. And like I said, this is a card. You really have to like the person you're giving it to because it is a lot of work. I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to fit it in where it belongs. See how all those little pieces fit? And if one is off a tad, not a problem. I'm okay with that. Okay. Now some of my pieces did fall off and I have them here. So I can see this one here. I have that piece right here and I'm going to drop that in. And I have this piece right here. And it's right there. I'm going to drop that in. Okay, and let's see, I have a couple more here. This one here, I'm going to try to scooch down a little. Okay, and the one on the other side of that, right here. I'm going to drop that one in. I guess a pair of tweezers would work perfect to drop these in here. Okay, and let's see. I have some more pieces. Oh, this one here I do want to put in. Don't know where that one went. This one here, I think I see that right there. Okay, so now I have the second layer of my butterflies. And now I'm going to come in with my glue pen again. And I need to add some adhesive because now I'm going to attach my top layer. And that was the Fleur de Flamingo layer. Again, I have to cut off my two little pieces. Two butterflies that don't fit. I am going to use one of these butterflies though. And now I'm just going to lay this one on top. And again, it's you can move it around if it doesn't sit exactly where you thought it was going to sit. This one is just going to get scooched over just a tad. Yeah. Now you can go around and you can add extra adhesive to whatever you think needs to be adhered a little stronger. Okay. I'm going to pop this one piece out. Okay. Now, I'm going to use some Wink of Stella because I love sparkly things. And I'm just going to go over my Fleur de Flamingo pieces. Just to add a little bit of shimmer and shine to it. I'm trying to keep it just on the pink, the Fleur de Flamingo, but if a little goes off onto one of the other layers, I'm okay with that. Okay, just put a little bit of glue on the antenna. Press press that down. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is find my thanks I had, and in a little scrap of rich raspberry with the same punch, I'm going to just punch the scalloped oval out of that. I'm going to attach my thanks to that, and I think okay, and there we go. I'm going to put that right there. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some jewels. I want some larger jewels to fill in the center butterfly's body. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then I'm just going to scatter some just around the rest of the card, wherever you want, as little or as much as you want, or you think your recipient will like. Let's put smaller ones there. 1, 2, 3. And I do have a small one here. I'm going to put some small ones on that little butterfly's body. 1, 2. Okay, and you know, I think I'm going to put a little something on that tag. It's missing something. I'm going to put a little something on that. I'm going to make myself a quick little bow. I have this great bow maker here. I absolutely love it. It is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Hold on one second and I'll tell you exactly what it's called, so you can get one and make quick and easy bows for your projects. And I'm going to fill this in right here. I'm going to take a glue dot, put that right here, and attach my bow to it. Now that bow was made using this fancy tool. I got this at a convention, and it's called Craft Debows. www.craftdebowz.blogspot.com. And I did get mine quite a few years ago. I'm assuming that that website is still good. I hope it is, since I've just given it to you. And so here is my card. This is the original one, and as you can see, I did use one of the butterflies that I cut off and I filled it in over here. But this one I didn't. I think this background paper was busy enough, so I didn't need an extra butterfly. So there is that. And what I think I'll do is I'll just take a piece of basic white cardstock and I'll put it on the inside to write a note. But there you have it. Now remember, this Beauty Abounds stamp set, the coordinating butterfly dies, Butterfly Beauty thinlits, they are on the retiring list, so they will be retiring at the end of this catalog, which is in just a couple weeks. So if you do like this, I'd suggest you hop on and get them before they're gone. If you enjoyed this project and you have any questions about the products or the project, certainly contact me through my blog, www.stampwithanna.blogspot.com. And if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and you'd like a copy of the new catalog, certainly let me know and I'll be glad to pop it in the mail to you. And while you're here, if you did enjoy my video, I'd love it if you'd give me a thumbs up and if you would subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much, and I'll catch you back here later for another project.